Hello everyone, now we are going to discuss about determination of binding sites and their constants. Before going into determination of binding sites, let us first recollect what we have learned or discussed in kinetics of protein binding. As we all know, law of mass action. According to law of mass action, the equilibrium association constant Kas can be expressed as the ratio of molar concentration of products and the molar concentration of the reactants. And this is a basic equation of reversible drug protein binding. Whenever a free drug binds with a free protein, a reversible drug protein complex is formed. Here K1 and K2 are the association and dissociation constants respectively. And as we all know, the equilibrium association constant Kas is nothing but the ratio of molar concentration of products and the molar concentration of reactants, which is nothing but K1 by K2 is equals to molar concentration of protein drug complex by molar concentration of free protein and free drug. Now we also know that if the binding sites in the protein is 1, that is if a protein has only one binding site, then the molar concentrations of bound drug and the bound protein are equal. If a protein has only one binding site, then the molar concentration of bound protein and bound drug, Pb is nothing but bound protein and Db is nothing but bound drug, both are equal. And one more thing is, if we know the total protein concentration, we can calculate the free protein concentration. Free protein concentration is nothing but total protein concentration in the body minus concentration of bound protein. Pf is nothing but free protein is equals to Pt minus Pb. And here we substitute Db in the place of Pd and Pf term is also replaced. As we all know, Ks is equals to Pd by Df into Pf. Instead of Pd, we are replacing it with bound drug, and even in the place of Pf, we are replacing the terms Pt minus Pb. So the final equation becomes Ks is equals to Db by Df into Pt minus Pb. And similarly, we know that if the number of binding sites on protein is 1, bound drug concentration and bound protein concentration are equal. So we are replacing or we are substituting Db in place of Pb of the previous equation. Then the final equation becomes Ks is equals to Db by Df into Pt minus Db. Instead of Pb, we are replacing Db because Pb and Db are equal if protein has only one binding site. And if the protein has n number of binding sites, then the term n is included in the final equation, and the final equation becomes Db. Ks is equals to Db by Df into n. N is the number of binding sites, Pt minus Db. And this above equation is the basis for the determination of number of binding sites. Now coming to the determination of binding sites and constants. In order to study the protein binding nature of drug, a determinable quality R is defined as R is equals to moles of drug bound by total moles of protein. I repeat, R is equals to moles of drug bound by total moles of protein. And as we all know, if protein has only one binding site, bound drug and the bound protein concentration are equal, which is nothing but the molar concentration of protein drug complex. And total moles of protein, PT, is nothing but total concentration of protein. So total moles of protein is equal to bound protein plus free protein. And taking these 2 points into consideration, R can be expressed as R is equals to moles of drug bound. Drug bound are nothing but dB, but as we all know, dB is equivalent to molar concentration of PD. We use PD in place of dB. So R is equals to PD by PD plus PF. Instead of PB also PD is used. So we are using molar concentration of protein drug complex in the place of molar concentrations of bound drug and bound protein, because all of them are equal if protein has one binding site. So the final equation of R becomes R is equals to PD by PD plus PF. This is nothing but same point. As we all know, if protein has one binding site, molar concentrations of bound drug and bound protein are equal, and the total moles of protein can be calculated by PT is equals to PB plus PF, and the final equation of R is equals to molar concentration of protein drug complex by molar concentration of protein drug complex plus molar concentration of free protein. Now, when we talk about equilibrium constant, we all know Ks or equilibrium constant is equals to PD by PF into DF. And if we replace or rearrange the equation, we get PD is equals to Ks into PF into DF. Simply if we rearrange the equation, if we take this term to this side, we get PD is equals to Ks into PF into DF, and we know that R is equals to PD by PD plus PF, and if we replace the term PD with Ks into PF and DF in terms of R, the final equation R becomes R is equals to Ks PF DF by Ks PF DF plus P. Simply we are replacing the equation. PD is equals to Ks PF DF in place of PD. So the final equation becomes, if we take PF as common, R is equals to Ks DF by 1 plus Ks DF. This is the final equation. R is equals to Kas df plus by 1 plus Ks df, and this equation describes the simplest situation in which a drug and protein interact in 1:1 ratio. That is, 1 mole of drug interacts with 1 mole of protein. And further it is assumed that the protein has only one binding site. And if there are n number of binding sites, then the equation becomes the R is equals to n Ks df by 1 plus Ks df. This term is used if there are n number of binding sites, where n is the number of binding sites. So final equation is equal to R is equals to n Ks df by 1 plus Ks df. Now, certain molecules or certain protein molecules may contain more than one binding sites on which the drug molecules can bind. For example, human serum albumin, it has 4 sites. Human serum albumin has 4 sites, site 1, site 2, site 3 and site 4. And dicomeral binds primary primarily to site 1 and secondary to site 2. Dicomarol is a drug which binds primarily to site 1 and then it prefers to bind to site 2. So human serum albumin is a protein which has 4 binding sites. Here is the human serum albumin and its 4 binding sites. Site 1 is also called as warfarin or azathioprine binding site, whereas site 2 is called as diazepam binding site, site 3 is called as digoxin binding site, and site 4 is called as tamoxifen binding sites. Dicomarol is a drug which binds to site 1 primarily and it also prefers to bind to site 2. In such cases, the equation R, which is nothing but R is equals to NKS dF by 1 plus KS dF, it expands as R is equals to N1 K1 dF by 1 plus K1 dF plus N2 K2 dF by 1 plus K2 dF, where the numerical subscripts represent different types of binding sites and their respective association constants. N1 is the binding site of site 1 and K1 is its association constant, whereas N2 is the binding site of site 2 and K2 is its association constant. And to use the previous equation as any other mathematical equation, we have certain assumptions. What are they? They are, first thing is the drug molecules bind to protein at independent binding site. And the second is the affinity of drug for one binding site does not influence the binding to other sites. And the third is the number and association constants are different for different types of binding sites. The third point is clear. Each site should have a number and it should have its own association constant. For example, 3 binding sites are there, then the number should be N1, N2 and N3 and its association constant should be K1, K2 and K3. When coming to second point, the affinity of a drug for one binding site does not influence the binding to other sites. There are certain contradictions in this point because in reality, drug protein binding sometimes exhibits a phenomena called as cooperativity. That is, the binding of first drug molecule at one site on the protein molecule influences the successive binding of other drug molecules. Example is binding of oxygen to hemoglobin. Binding of one drug to site 1 may influence the binding of other drug to other sites. Please note this point. Binding of one drug to one particular site may influence the binding of other drugs to other sites, not the same site. If two drug molecules compete for same binding site, then that is competitive inhibition. That is a different scenario and it will be discussed in drug displacement interactions. Here the case is different. One drug, when it binds to one particular binding site, it may influence the binding of another drug to another binding site. Here the binding site is different. Now coming to the determination of binding sites and constants. Graphically, we can determine the number of binding sites and their association constants by 4 methods. First one is direct plot and the second one is double reciprocal plot, third is Sachard's plot and the fourth is Hitchcock's plot. coming to the introduction of determination. In general, purified albumin is used in the kinetic study of protein binding. Generally, what protein is used in the kinetic study of protein binding means albumin is the protein that is used for the kinetic study of protein binding, because it is the most abundant protein and most important protein, and most of the drugs bind to albumin. Hence, for that reason, purified albumin is used for the kinetic study of protein binding. And we can determine experimentally both the free drug concentration and the bound drug concentration. Both can be determined, both free drug and bound drug, as well as total protein concentration can also be determined, that is concentration of both bound protein and unbound protein can be determined. We can determine both free drug and bound drug. Similarly, we can determine both free protein and bound protein. Now coming to the first graphical method, direct plot. We all know the equation R is equals to NKS dF by 1 plus KS dF, and the above equation shows that as the free drug concentration increases, the number of moles of the drug per mole of the protein becomes saturated and reach a plateau. That is, as the free drug concentration increases, the binding sites get saturated and they reach a plateau. And a direct plot of number of moles of drug per mole of molecule R versus free drug concentration can be used to determine number of binding sites on protein. Here the number of binding sites N can be determined by the plateau value, and the association constant Ks can be obtained by finding the drug concentration required to saturate half of the total binding sites available. Ks can be obtained by finding the drug concentration required to saturate the half of the total binding sites available. And this is the graph of direct plot of R versus free drug concentration. As we can see, as the concentration of free drug increases, the saturation of binding sites occurs and they reach a plateau. And this plateau is used for the determination of number of binding sites N, whereas Ks can be determined by finding the drug concentration required to saturate half of the protein sites. Now coming to the second graph, that is double reciprocal plot. In case of double reciprocal plot, the R equation is linearized and rearranged. We take the reciprocal of R and free drug concentration. Here 1 by R, after linearization and rearrangement, the following the equation R is equals to NKS dF by 1 plus Ks dF will become 1 by R is equals to 1 by NKS dF plus 1 by N. And when we plot a graph of 1 by R versus 1 by dF, it is called as double reciprocal plot, because we are taking two reciprocals. 1 by R is a reciprocal and 1 by dF is also a reciprocal. The graph is called as double reciprocal plot. The graph is also called as Lineweaver's-Burk plot or Klotz plot. And this plot yields a straight line, and the number of binding sites can be determined from y-intercept, and the association constant Kas can be obtained from the slope. Now, when we talk about equilibrium constant, we all know Ks or equilibrium constant is equals to PD by PF into DF. And if we replace or rearrange the equation, now coming to the third graph, that is Sachard's plot. Sachard's plot rearranges the R equation in such a way that it spreads the data to give a better line for estimation of binding site and binding constant. Here, simply they shift the term in the denominator to the other side. By that we get R plus RKS dF is equals to NKS dF, and R is equals to NKS dF minus RKS dF, and R by dF is equals to NKS minus RKS. R by dF is equals to NKS minus RKS. Here, when we look at the Sachard's plot is obtained by plotting R by dF versus R. Here we get a straight line whose slope is equals to association constant Ks, and the number of binding sites can be obtained from the x-intercept. X-intercept is nothing but M. So this is the Sachard's plot of R by dF versus R. In some cases, curvilinear Sachard's plot will also occur, and this curvilinear Sachard plot indicates that the drug protein binding is not equimolar. A curvilinear, I repeat, a curvilinear Sachard plots indicate that drug protein binding is not equimolar and more than one binding site is present for the drug on the protein. That is, a protein has more than one binding site. And binding of salicylic acid and dicomerol are examples where more than one binding site is involved. In such cases, at least two different independent binding sites, N1 and N2, and each with its own association constant K1 and K2 exist. And the below equation best describes this type of drug protein binding. We all know that R is equals to N1 K1 dF by 1 plus K1 dF plus N2 K2 dF by 1 plus K2 dF. This equation is used whenever there are two binding sites, two or more binding sites on protein. Now when we look at the curvilinear Sachard's plot, as we can see here, the graph is curvilinear, and it indicates that curvilinear Sachard's plot indicates that protein binding is not equimolar and there are more than one binding sites on the protein. Here we can notice two lines, line 1 and line 2, and line 1 is used for the estimation of N1, which is nothing but the number of binding sites of site 1. The x-intercept of line 1 is used for the number of binding sites of site 1, and its slope is used to find K1, its association constant. And the line 2, x-intercept of the line 2 is used to determine the number of binding sites on site 2, and the slope of second line is used to determine K2. So this is the curvilinear Sachard's plot of D by R by dF versus R. Equimolar. Now coming to Hitchcock's plot. Hitchcock's plot is obtained by rearranging the equation used for double reciprocal plot or Lineweaver's Burke plot. 1 by R is equals to 1 by NKS dF plus 1 by N. And by rearranging the equation we get NKS dF by R is equals to 1 plus KS dF. And by dividing on both sides by NKS, we get dF by R is equals to 1 by NKS plus dF by N. In case of Hitchcock's plot, a plot of dF by R versus dF is taken and it yields a straight line with slope is equals to 1 by N and whose y-intercept is equals to 1 by N KAS. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for further videos on biopharmaceutics.